Hey YouTube, morning. I will apologise in advance against the road noise that there is, which might be affecting the sound, but by quite a busy road. I just wanted to do a quick little video on wisteria pruning. Might help some of you out, anyone who's got wisteria that they're not sure what to do with, as it can become a bit of a tangled mess. I don't know whether you can see very well, as obviously it's got no leaves on this time of year, but I know some people struggle to know what to do with them, where they should prune them, when they should prune them. Wisterias, obviously at the moment it's winter, I'm giving this a winter prune now, and in fact this one I think it got missed last year, so it's a little bit messier than it should be. I've already started, so I'll show you. I've sort of done this side, the lower part, and I'm just going along the top up there. So basically what you want to watch out for is, obviously you want the flowers, so what you're trying to encourage is the flowering buds on the network of branches and stems. This, as you can see, is a very old one, which is struggling to a degree with a bit of dieback, but it does still flower really well. So basically these are the bits you're looking out for. Let me come in a bit closer. So these are the flowering stems, where the buds are a lot closer together and they're much smaller. Show you these ones here as well. So these are the bits which are going to have the flowers on. So obviously these are the bits I'm trying to keep. I'm leaving these. These have grown out quite a bit from the main stem, but that's just due to the age of the plant. I'll show you up the ladder. Come with me up here. So again, here we go. These are the bits that are going to be, you can see where the flowers, this would have been a flower from last year, this dead piece, which can be cut off or it will just fall off naturally eventually. These can also be trimmed back if needs be, so we can take it back a bit, because these are starting to creep out quite a long way from where the wall actually is. And this one, in a minute, I will be just tidying up all this tangled mess here, which is basically the year's growth, or in this case possibly some of it might be 2 years growth, as this one is on the side of the house that doesn't get quite so much sun. So this one grows a little bit slower. There's one round the other side which I might take you around and show you quickly, just to show you that one, which gets a lot more sun and grows a lot more vigorously. So all this mess, all this straggly stuff. So if I show you one of these, so these, the buds are much further apart. So there we go, we've got a bud there by my thumb, and then there's another one by my small finger there. So if we just go back and have a look at a flowering, sorry for the camera jumping about. So if we go back and look at a flowering stem here, so we go, there's my thumb. So the buds are a lot closer together, and it will be on a piece that has obviously not grown as much as, I mean, some of these end up tangling all over the place. This one's even grown up into the cord line here, which I've got to tidy up in a minute as well. But yeah, obviously at the moment it doesn't look much, but come the spring when it flowers, looks absolutely brilliant. So what I'll do, I'll just take you around the other side of the house and show you the other wisteria which I've been training around the house, and just show you that one quickly. Also, I'll be doing some videos on the hedges. I've got a lot of hedges here I need to get trimmed up. Lots of laurel hedges, unfortunately. you don't like looking at laurel hedges, then look away now. So yeah, we got all the laurel here, in fact some of which at the back I never managed to do last year for various reasons, so some of that's got 2 years growth on, but this round here just needs a light trim round, which I will get to eventually. Okay, so this is the other wisteria on the other side of the house, which gets a massive amount more sun. As you can see, it's there we go, there's the sun there. Time being about, it's 10:40 in the morning here. So yeah, it gets the sun for most of the day, this one. And this one I've been training for the past few years to try and get it to come round the side of the house here. And the idea being to get it just to the end of this wall here, so that you've got a nice coverage all the way round when it flowers in the spring, which last year it flowered lovely. So I'll probably show you when I haven't actually pruned all of this. I did prune some at the end because I thought I'd make use of the scaffolding as it was there, but this one still needs tidying up, because as you can see, it's a big jumble of loads of all the little tiny shoots that have gone up and just created a big tangled mess. But again, you can see the flowering shoots that are here. So yeah. Okay, so what I did forget to say was, obviously you're probably thinking, well, how do I train a wisteria, or how do I get mine to flower? Basically, the long stems, if you train them, you know, individually, wherever you're trying to get it to grow, making sure, ideally, that they're tied to something quite strong, as they can get quite big, and try to avoid, if you have a trellis, to weave them in and out of the trellis, because eventually they'll get so thick that they will break the trellis apart and probably fall off. Try and tie them to something, and eventually you'll have to use something quite strong for the stems. So I mean, this one isn't done ideal. This was kind of already like it, but obviously train your long stems along, and the flowers, as these mature, will grow off of these stems with time. Obviously, as a stem gets thicker, it will start to produce the small flowering buds off of it on these smaller little shoots. So yeah, basically, if you train it along wherever you're growing it, on a wall, a fence, a trellis, you know, and avoid letting it grow. I don't know if you can see from here, which I will be cutting out in a minute, where it's grown behind the drain pipe, the down pipe from the guttering, because eventually it will get so thick it would pull the drain pipe off the wall eventually. And also here, I mean, this is such an old trellis, it's falling to bits, but yeah, avoid putting it behind things, because it gets thick quite quickly over the years, and it can actually do quite a bit of damage if it's not done properly. So try and tie it to something. What you even have to do, I've had to wire some of this up, but if you're wiring it up, obviously make sure it's not just wire, as it will cut into the stem and damage the stem. What I've done that I didn't show you, there is a bit around here. If you use wire, but use some hose pipe, put some hose pipe on it and tie that round with it, then that will protect the stems from the wire, but of course the wire is a lot stronger and won't break, as twine, or something thinner will eventually. So anyway, any questions guys on pruning wisterias, just leave a comment down below and I'll try and answer your questions. Thanks for watching.